The summer showcase season is behind us now, which is always the excitement for gamers in the month of June. It usually also means it's a lighter month for releases, but there were still some great ones like The Adventures of Elliot, The Millennium Tales, and Star Fox. July isn't looking much busier, but it isn't absent of some pretty big titles, so let me break down the games I think you should keep your eyes on. If you enjoy this content, please leave a like, subscribe, and share with your friends. If you don't like it, then leave a thumbs down and let me know how I can be better for you. As always with these videos, this isn't every game releasing in the month, but the ones I think are most notable. Let's get into the list. Rhythm Heaven Groove is the newest in the series with 80 all-new solo rhythm games. Push the buttons to the beat across all the weird and wonderful game modes. There's even brand new modes like a turn-based adventure RPG looking game, a rhythm quiz show, and more. The adventure RPG called Beat Spell is definitely the most unique and will allow you to cast spells by completing rhythm signatures and advancing the narrative. If multiplayer is more your vibe, then that's okay too, as there are 30 multiplayer specific rhythm games. These accommodate up to 4 players and can be both cooperative or competitive. The combination of goofy visuals and the addictiveness of keeping rhythm is the appeal here. This looks to be the perfect party game, but if you're not sure, then there's a demo up now to give the first 5 solo games a try. Rhythm Heaven Groove drops on July 2nd for Switch 1 and Switch 2. Assassin's Creed is an immensely long-running franchise at this point with lots of games, but one people often look back on fondly is Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag. This one is set in the Caribbean during the peak times of piracy, offering a bit of a unique twist on the Assassin formula. This PS3 Xbox 360 title is finally getting a remake 13 years later. Assassin's Creed Black Flag Resynced has its open world built with the latest Anvil engine, which enhances both its visuals and its gameplay. There isn't just an increase to graphical fidelity, but also a dynamic weather system, ray tracing, and micro polygon rendering. Gameplay changes include things like allowing you to crouch anywhere, removal of the instant fail for tailing missions, and new parry mechanics. Resynced is getting the full remake treatment, and that includes bonus story content. New storylines have been added for characters such as Blackbeard and Steed Bonnet, as well as being a slight addition to the main narrative. There will also be new sea shanties, pets, and a photo mode. For those of you who played the original, you'll understand the importance of the sea shanties. Live your pirate assassin dream whether you're a first timer or a returning lover when Assassin's Creed Black Flag Resynced releases on July 9th for PS5, Xbox Series, and PC. Something we all jokingly called Pokemon with guns until Nintendo took it too seriously and enacted a lawsuit is Palworld. This monster-catching survival crafter released in early access at the beginning of 2024 and blew us all away with its Steam concurrence. A number so high it still sits as the 3rd highest of all time. Honestly, I didn't know it wasn't in its full release yet, so I was a bit surprised to see this announcement that it will hit 1.0 in July. Palworld takes a monster catching formula that I'm sure we're all familiar with and adds its own spin. You can of course train these monsters to fight alongside you, but you can also just utilize them to craft, including automating them onto production lines. Exploration and base building are as key as monster catching in this game. There is also a multiplayer aspect where you can team up to take on raid style bosses or invade others to seize their pals for your own and pillage their resources. With the early access period out the way, players can expect the most polished version, including over 200 pals that exist in the game. Palworld 1.0 releases on July 10th for PC, PS5, and Xbox Series. Another monster catching game that actually came out last year is coming to the Switch and Switch 2 in July. Digimon Story Time Stranger is a turn-based RPG where you befriend, train, and battle with the mons of the parallel digital world. There are more than 450 Digimon in the game to discover, which provide many options for overcoming the battles you encounter. The main story will take most more than 50 hours to complete, but due to it coming out last year on other platforms, it already has had a handful of DLC packs that can be purchased too. These include additional missions and additional evolution paths for specific Digimon. The thing I remember most about Digimon from my childhood is how insane some of the evolutions got, and from what I've seen of this game, they certainly aren't holding back. If you are waiting for this to come to Switch, or if Nintendo is your preferred place to play, then you can nab Digimon Story Time Stranger for the Switch and Switch 2 on July 10th. Indie game D-Topia has a visually striking art style that makes me think of something like Journey or The Pathless. This third-person adventure puzzler is described on the publisher's website as follows. Step into the world of D-Topia in this gentle-paced puzzle adventure. In D-Topia, life is curated by artificial intelligence to maximize happiness. As the newest facilitator, it's up to you to solve puzzles to keep the residential facility running and resolve problems that go beyond the mechanical. The gameplay reveal seems to involve navigating the 3D space of this idyllic society, meeting the quirky characters and solving mini puzzles. With anything that involves AI, I can only assume there'll be some kind of dark twist revealing how broken or messed up everything really is. But hey, maybe I'm wrong and it will just be a cozy adventure puzzle game. I guess we'll have to find out when D-Topia releases on July 14th for Switch 1 and 2, PS5, PC and Xbox Series, and there's a Steam demo up now. The indie game that slammed onto our screens during Gamescom last year was Denshattack. This demanded attention with its over-the-top anime art style and the fact that you play as a train carriage that you can seemingly move like a skateboard. You grind along the tracks, being able to execute jumps and flip tricks that bring up a scoring system similar to that of a Tony Hawk game. It's on rails, quite literally, and you'll simultaneously be avoiding obstacles in a style reminiscent of Subway Surfer. It's an arcadey feeling game that is beautiful with its colors and animations. This fast-paced visual barrage translates perfectly into boss fights. The developers' undercoders showcased in their reveal trailer some pretty crazy over-the-top mech encounters, which I can't wait to try. This colourful single-player, quite frankly unique title set in a dystopian Japan has a demo up now on Steam and Nintendo Switch 2 if you want to give it a try ahead of release. Denshattack was in my video last month as it was due to release on June 17th, but it got delayed to the new date of July 15th, where it comes to PS5, Xbox Series, Switch 2 and PC. Although single player isn't new to the Splatoon franchise, it has never been the focus. Until now, Splatoon Raiders is a single player focused experience where you play as the mechanic. You are exploring around the Spiralite Islands looking for loot, accompanied by a trio of swashbuckling musicians called Deep Cut. The loot you find can be brought back to the hub area to customize and upgrade your character. The combat will be familiar to anyone who has played a Splatoon game in that you'll be firing ink guns through third person over the shoulder action. The thing that has me interested most from the trailers are the gadgets. Gadgets replace sub-weapons in Raiders and the ones I've seen so far look really cool. There's a spin wheel which looks like a giant inky Beyblade honing in on an enemy, an aggressive hatchet which can double swipe for massive damage, a surrounding ring of ink that can be used both offensively and defensively, and lastly a shot pot which is effectively your stationary turret. From the treehouse there seemed to be a lot more that you could unlock, but we did not see them yet. There is an upcoming dedicated Nintendo Direct at the end of the month for this game where I'm sure we'll see a lot more ahead of its release on July 23rd, exclusive to the Nintendo Switch 2. At the end of the month we have one of the big hitters. Xbox's mascot Master Chief is coming to the PlayStation for the very first time. Halo Campaign Evolved is a full remake of the campaign from the first game, Combat Evolved, in Unreal Engine 5. Not only will you get the sleek visuals but also a remastered soundtrack, immersive new sound design, and newly recorded voice acting from the original performers. The gameplay has been expanded too, with the sprint being introduced and weapons and vehicles from other games in the series being available here. The biggest addition are 3 brand new story missions focused around Sergeant Johnson and Chief as they take on the Covenant. The trailer they had at the Xbox Summer Showcase revealing this was pretty awesome. Campaign Evolved can be played solo or with up to 4 players in co-op, including 2-player split screen. It will also have cross-play and cross-progression. Skulls have always been a game changer in Halo to adjust difficulty and add fun quirks or challenges, and this remake promises the most ever to enhance replayability. I've played Combat Evolved so many times and wasn't initially interested with this title, but the more I see of it, the more excited I get. Nostalgia really does hit hard, and now a whole new set of players get to experience it. Halo Campaign Evolved launches on July 28th for Xbox Series, PS5 and PC. Ever wondered what happened if you mix an action RPG with an extraction shooter and dress it in Dark Souls aesthetic? It's safe to say that Mistfall Hunter is pretty unique. This third-person PvPvE title can be tackled solo or with a squad of up to 3. The enemies look difficult and the heaviness of the characters is something that is unmistakably similar to From Software. Choose one of 6 classes, head out into the mist, endure tough battles and loot as much as you can. Avoid the guild mist closing in and try to extract to keep your loot. Survive long enough and you may encounter the boss for even bigger rewards. If you do manage to safely extract, you can get permanent upgrades and buffs to your stats, skills and equipment back at the hub. You might look at this and think Elden Ring Night Rain, but it is so much more. Ever-changing battlefields, distinct classes covering both magic and melee builds, permanent upgrades, lots of cosmetic options, PvP elements, and an extraction loot cycle. Mistfall Hunters sounds like it could be a game with a very long tail. The developers also confirmed there are no pay-to-win mechanics, which is always a welcome statement. This has been in early access on Steam for a little bit, but this month Mistfall Hunter has its full release on July 29th for Xbox, PS5 and PC. That's everything I think is notable in July, but as I said at the top, it's not everything releasing in the month. If there's nothing here for you, I recommend you check my release calendar videos for the previous months of 2026, as there's been loads of awesome games that have already come out in the last 6 months. Come back here in a month's time as we look ahead to August, which is looking pretty tasty from what we know so far. In the meantime, check out my reviews for Aphelion and Pragmata, or catch up on the Summer Showcase season with my breakdowns of the 4 main presentations. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like, subscribe and share with your friends. If you didn't like it, then leave a thumbs down and I'll try to be better next time. Let me know in the comments below what game you're most looking forward to in July, and for everything else, casual gamer, keep it here. Peace and love.